From unexpected deaths to shocking twists, there's always that one episode that leaves us stunned speechless. It's no surprise that anime can be very unpredictable sometimes. Among these unforeseen plot twists, some are definitely gorier and bloodier than others, and they could even leave the fanbase slightly traumatized for a while. Regardless, it's all part of what makes anime so captivating, and that's why in today's video, we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 violent moments in anime that will leave you in shock. So sit back and try your best to relax as we dive into this heart-stopping selection.
Ano? ブツブツ言ってないで前へ行け。運転してもらおう。
Starting the list is a very violent and unexpected scene from the anime, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Here, Dio suddenly gets in the backseat of a car and then forces the man behind the wheel to drive him. He does this by using his power to cause the driver to suffer internal bleeding if he refuses. Sure enough, the terrified man drives as fast as he can, ignoring all the safety regulations of the road. But it doesn't end there because in an unexpected and horrific twist, Dio commands him to drive on the street filled with pedestrians. The man has no choice but to do so, and in no time the car is covered with the blood of innocent civilians he just ran over. Just when the driver feels like Dio will spare his life after going through such great lengths, the bad dude in the backseat just assures him that he's still going to die.
ウィルソン・フィリップス上院議員様の車だぞ。目ん玉からゲロ吐きてえのか。
At number 9, we'll be looking at the scenes that led up to Mike's tragic end in Attack on Titan. You'd expect he'll be able to divert Titans from his team since he's an experienced soldier, but things went south very quickly when the Beast Titan appeared. In a short while, the tables are turned and Mike is captured by one of the smaller Titans. But then the Beast Titan surprisingly kills the smaller Titan because he wants to interrogate Mike. Unfortunately, Mike is too stunned to even speak, so the huge beast orders all the small titans to do whatever they want with a soldier. In the blink of an eye, Mike finds himself surrounded by terrifying titans that viciously rip him apart. Next on the list is a rather twisted and violent scene from School Days. It all starts when Makoto goes back to his old love interest after Seika refuses to abort their child. Seika is furious when she learns of this, so she visits him, claiming that she wants to discuss the future of the pregnancy. But then she leaves the room under the pretext of making tea, and that's when Makoto receives a text from her saying she's sorry. Before he can even understand what's going on, Seika ambushes him with a huge knife and stabs him over and over until the room is literally flooded with his blood.
それなのにあなたは人に差し出すつもりだったその花が惜しくなった。そして彼の
よしよし。殿下。
優しい。At number 7, we'll be looking at the most tragic debuts in battle ever seen in anime. Young Prince Arslan's first battle turns out to be a shocking and unbelievable failure which nobody expected. He leads the Persian army to attack their enemies, but they quickly encounter a strange and thick fog. They ignore the strange occurrence and march forward, hoping to subdue the Lusitania army. Unfortunately, they are blinded by the fog and eventually fall into a huge pit. And just when things look like they can't get any worse, the enemies unload a barrage of flaming arrows on the injured soldiers, which leads to the pit catching fire, burning them alive. Next on the list of shockingly violent and gory scenes, we'll be looking at Kaneko's tragic death in Blood Sea. After Saya helps Kaneko to escape from a ferocious monster called the Cerberus-type Elder Baron, she scrambles to hide in a safe place. Meanwhile, Kaneko runs to a temple nearby, which is managed by Saya's father, Tadayoshi. She begs the man to help her, feeling very scared. Tadayoshi embraces her and comforts her, but just when she thinks that she's finally safe, he flips a switch, and in a shocking and unbelievable twist, it turns out that he's also an Elder Baron. He bites her neck and drinks her blood before decapitating her finally.
それは偽りでね。だからこそ。
グプナは大方終わりました。また6歳。このところ波の出荷が続いている。
Number 5 is a jaw-dropping scene in the first episode of The Promised Neverland. At the start of the episode, everyone believed that Gracefield House is a safe haven for orphans, but we quickly learned the dark and sinister truth, the same way Emma and Norman did. This crazy twist happens one night when the two kids sneak out to give Connie her stuffed animal, and that's when they find out that Gracefield is actually a human farm set up for raising children who will later be slaughtered and fed to the monsters that rule their world. It turns out that all the orphans at the place are killed and sold as meat to demons. But the sad part about this is that Emma and Norman only find out when they see Connie's corpse.
食料違う。みんな里子にママいつもの優しいママ助けろ。なんで助けないの。できたのにあんたにはできたのになんで
Taking the number 4 spot is a very disturbing scene from the anime, When They Cry. It takes place during a heated argument between Rika and Tsunozaki, and this altercation just keeps getting hotter until it turns physical. As the fight goes on, it looks like Rika is about to win because she's about to inject Tsunozaki with a strange substance. However, Tsunozaki manages to dodge the attack and knocks Rika down before injecting her with a mysterious serum. At this point, Rika is feeling dizzy, but she keeps fighting and grabs a knife to stab her opponent. Tsunozaki begins to taunt the already disoriented girl, mocking her about her failed mission. And as Rika continues to stagger around the room, one would think she's about to charge at the other girl. Instead, she grips the knife even harder and then begins to stab herself in the head over and over until she kills herself. This unpredictable series of events is sure to leave any viewer stunned and absolutely bewildered.
勝ったぞ。サトシ君を殺した奴らに勝ったんだ。
We've gotten to the 3 most shockingly violent scenes in the list. And for number 3, we'll be looking at another very early twist in the anime titled Deadman Wonderland. The episode starts like a normal day at school, with Ganta spending time with his classmates. However, the day takes a very dark turn once the school bell rings, because when Ganta hears a familiar sound, he looks outside to see a mysterious cloaked figure floating outside the window. Before the stunned student can even think of his next move, this floating man, called the Red Man, uses his strange weapons to attack the building, ultimately annihilating the classroom. When Ganta regains consciousness, he looks around the ruins left of his classroom and is horrified to see that he's the only one who survived the massacre.
だったら知ってる連中の方が面白いかなって。女の体とかさ、どうなってんのかなって。ことかも、からったら
い きなりニューさんにあんなこと。だってあの人はすごく悪い人なんだよ。さっきニューさんのことルーシーさんって言ってましたよね。
At number 2, we have the very unfortunate death of Lucy's innocent puppy in Elfen Lied. When Lucy takes in a stray puppy, she hides it from the bullies in the orphanage, knowing that they'd probably hurt it. But one day, she tells her friend about it, and that turns out to be the beginning of her problems. Tomu, the leader of the bullies, finds out about the puppy, so he snatches it from her and forces her to watch as his minions abuse the dog till it dies. However, that's not the most violent twist in this scene, because after the pup dies, Lucy uses her telekinesis to blow the boys up in a bloody explosion.
Kyojin 去年行きましたよ、東京に。大きな遊園地にも行ったし、東京タワーも登ったし、楽しかったですよ。
Finally, we've gotten to the most shocking scene, which is considered one of the most unfortunate deaths in anime. It's Yukari's death scene from the anime Another, and it's safe to say it will leave anyone both horrified and even slightly traumatized because of just how unexpected it is. It starts when Yukari finds out her mother died in a car crash. She concludes it must be due to a curse, so she tries to run out of the school. Unfortunately, while dashing along the hallway, she sees Mei, who she believes is connected to the curse. So she panics and grabs her umbrella to run away even faster. But in a very cruel twist, she trips down the stairs, causing the umbrella to open in front of her right before she falls on it head first. The next thing we see is that the umbrella's pointy end has passed through her neck. Yukari just lies there, dying slowly, and by the time people come around, she's already a corpse in a pool of blood.
なのかな、クラスの連中。それから先生もどうして君を。
いないものだから。
That's it for this video. Check out this next one for more anime-related content.